Nigeria. It's nice to have you join us. I'm Elizabeth Omori. You know, each edition features human interest stories that capture challenges, achievements, personal, corporate, and national concerns. Today's lineup is in that direction. On Newsline tonight, we identify with special people. Of course, we never stop celebrating them. We will sound loud and clear, talk about their successes and achievements to the world. Plus, social and corporate events. And of course, it's the season of love and sharing. So, we will tell you all you need to know about persons and organizations who are making people happy already. A potpourri, you would agree. We'll bring you up to speed after the news with Claire Adelabu Abdurazak. Hello, Claire.
Hello, Lizzie, and I can tell you one fight we can't stop fighting is corruption. And that's why we're beginning with the anti-corruption fight here in Abuja. The youths in Africa have been challenged to take ownership of the renewed battle against corruption by pooling their energies towards ensuring that Africa's resources remain on the continent and utilized effectively for public good. President Muhammadu Buhari, through the challenge at the launch of the Africa Youth Congress Against Corruption, emphasized that reversing the negative trends of the menace and its implications is very much in the hands of young people. State House correspondent Tada Musambu reports that the event has as a theme youth in the fight against corruption.
The Congress has been attended by youth crusaders against corruption and other financial crimes from across the African continent was put together by President Muhammadu Buhari as champion of the 2018 African Anti-Corruption Year. It is a grand rallying point to catalyze policy ideas and practical action against the vice of corruption. President Buhari noted with delight that in the build-up to the Abuja Congress, some young people have demonstrated the zeal and determination to push the boundaries of innovation in the pursuit for greater accountability towards building the Africa we want.
This fight against corruption is yours to lead and to win. I am confident that you will give due support to the continental strategies to stem illicit financial flows out of Africa, expedite stolen assets recovery and return. By so doing, accountability and change will begin with you and me.
Sharing with the participants what he believes are the ABC of fighting corruption, the president looks forward to receiving from them an agenda for action that will serve as a rallying cry of the African youth towards a corrupt-free Africa.
My highly esteemed young brothers and sisters, as Africa promotes regional integration and global prosperity, corruption remains a major stumbling block. We must therefore fight it from all angles and avenues without ceasing. And only a united front led by the African youth can change this present narrative to a great story of African transformation. Let us all move from talk to action.
The Congress is expected to come up with what the President called the Creed of Transparency to be forwarded to the next summit of the African Union in Ethiopia. Nigeria's Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, as well as the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, were emphatic that the level of corruption in Africa is high, but with the unwavering political will and commitment by President Muhammadu Buhari as African anti-graft champion, the narrative is changing.
Without killing corruption, there can be no sustainable development or transformation in Africa.
We in Nigeria, anti-corruption agencies shall never betray the anti-corruption mandate given to us by the people and the government of Nigeria. We will remain firm and resolute as we confront corruption boldly and courageously, until all corrupt elements and their destructive practices are defeated.
There were goodwill messages from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, as well as the African Union Commission.
I would like to ask all of you to applaud His Excellency, Mr. President. We are proud of you, Excellency.
During the opening ceremony, a panel of discussants from Nigeria, Kenya and the Gambia showcased what the African youngsters are doing in the fight against corruption through their various platforms. Several other panel of discussions and keynote speeches are to be taken during the two-day event, expected to round off with the adoption of Pan-African Youth Declaration on the fight against corruption. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And youths attending the African Youth Congress Against Corruption at the State House, Abuja, convened by President Muhammadu Buhari, say they have realized the damage that corruption is doing to their destiny and are ready to actively participate in stopping it. Foreign Desk correspondent Akwa Simon Macham engaged the youths on how they intend to make this change.
The appointment of President Muhammadu Buhari as the African anti-corruption champion by the African Union has seen him engaging many heads of states in Africa and elsewhere, as well as international organizations, on how to stop corruption and recover looted African funds.
Africa has enough resources to turn things around. You know, the same way looking at how they are leveraged on tech to change things in society, do things that government did least expected.
And I think the whole idea of this Congress is to examine what young people should do as themselves. Let's not always point the finger out to leaders, to the state, to institutions, but also to do some self-reflection.
We need to go down to the root. What is corruption? People think corruption is just stealing the money. Yeah, there's favoritism, there's nepotism, everything.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyema says the campaign by President Muhammadu Buhari is receiving acceptance, particularly among African youths.
Sensitization, starting early and developing a completely different narrative.
Experts believe that some reorientation needs to be done to enable the youth unlearn some of the wrong orientation they may have been exposed to, which glorifies quick money and, of course, cutting corners in both public and private life. From the conference center of the State House, Akwa Simon Macham, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has constituted a Presidential Implementation Committee on Autonomy of State Legislature and State Judiciary in accordance with the 4th alteration to the 1999 Constitution. The purpose of the committee, which is to drive the actualization of the autonomy granted to the legislature and judiciary at the state level, has the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami San, as chairman, while Senator Itainang, the senior special assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, is to serve as secretary. Other members include representatives of states' judiciary and legislatures, as well as other interest groups. Terms of reference of the committee include, among others, to assess and review the level of compliance by all the 36 states of the Federation with Section 121, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, to monitor, ensure, and cause the implementation of financial autonomy across the judiciary and legislature of the 36 states. And President Muhammadu Buhari has lauded Nigerians for curbing excessive taste for foreign products, which has positioned the country for food self-sufficiency and resulted into savings of more than $21 billion. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the President was reacting to latest disclosure by the Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele on Nigeria emerging from being a net importer of rice to a major producer through the AnchorBois Scheme. The program also generated more than 2.5 million jobs. Describing the development as heartwarming, the President said it was just a matter of time before significantly positive impact will be made in the statistics of the unemployed in the country, particularly from the agriculture sector, adding that enormous savings will be deployed to other critical areas like infrastructure, education, healthcare, and many others. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will be addressing a group of notable German business leaders in Berlin, Germany, tomorrow, Monday, December the 10th. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, La Luakonde, says the Vice President will be speaking on the potentials of the Nigerian market and the gains recorded by the country through its ease of doing business reforms. He would, among other engagements, also meet with key German financial sector executives with interest in investing in Nigeria and other business leaders in sectors including agricultural seeds production, technology, renewable energy. The meetings will consolidate on the outcome of the German Chancellor Angela Merkel's visit to Nigeria in August earlier this year. The Berlin Business Interactions with the VP is being organized by the Nigerian Embassy in Berlin in conjunction with the German African Business Association. Also, the Vice President will be in London on Tuesday, December the 11th, where he will feature at the Royal Society Investment Forum hosted by Jeune Afrique Media Group. It's themed Investing in Africa. And from there, he would also proceed to Cairo, Egypt, where he will be representing President Muhammadu Buhari later in the week at the first Intra-African Fair IATF, which will be taking place in Cairo from 11th to 17th December. And Erisco Foods Limited is leading the concept of promoting cooperation between the manufacturing sector and the military towards achieving peace and sustainable development. And to this end, the Chief Executive of Erisco Foods Limited, Eric Umofia, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Defense Research and Development Bureau to facilitate that. Here is Musa Abubakar to tell us more.
These are troops of the Nigerian army at war front fighting to rid the country of bad elements. This is not a war that can only be won by equipment, but also essentials such as food. It is in realization of this that Erisco Foods Limited is contracted to ensure that Nigerian military are adequately fed to win the war against insurgency. This ready-to-eat 3 square meals made without chemicals have rice, spaghetti, gari mix contained in one pack. What's so exceptional about the meal packs is they come with 2 warmers, which makes it possible for one to heat up the meals before eating.
Oh, I see.
Very strategic and important to us that we are part of the people that are feeding our nation, feeding our military that is fighting to defeat. I assure you from now on the defeat is a sure because they are full, they are happy to conquer our enemies, and surely it shall come to end very soon.
You decide what you give to your soldiers, the quality of the food. If you decide to import it, you might not get the right quality and it could be tampered with, which might adversely affect your soldiers.
The choice of Erisco Foods Limited is a deliberate action by the federal government in its quest to promote local content and indigenous manufacturers.
That was Musa Abubakar. And we move on to wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has called on well-meaning Nigerians to invest in the education of children, particularly orphans and other less privileged children, to enhance their future for the overall development of the country. Mrs. Buhari stated this at the inauguration of the modern orphanage in Maiduguri, built by the wife of the Borno State Governor, Nana Kashim Shatima, to complement Mrs. Buhari's efforts of improving the lives of women and children. State House correspondent Tadamo Aliu Kabir Ashutsi reports.
The construction of the modern orphanage and school in Maiduguri is conceived by the wife of the governor, Nana Shatima, under her project known as Support Widows, Orphans and Sangaya Children's Ward, aimed at improving the lives of women and children. The school is established in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, equipped with a state-of-the-art facilities capable of enhancing teaching and learning for the betterment of the children. The pupils are purely orphans, sourced from different parts of the state. Majority are victims of insurgency and is expected to serve as a model in the state. with the aim of supporting Mrs. Buhari's initiative of providing quality education to Nigerian children through her Future Assured program. Inaugurating the project, the wife of the president applauded the initiative of the governor's wife and promised to give her all the necessary support in achieving her dreams.
I thank all the women of Borno State. I would also like to congratulate Her Excellency Mrs. Nana Shetima for actualizing her dream out of the passion that she has for women and children in Borno State. She will be able to come up with an orphanage center that will cater for so many children. May God bless the orphanage and bless the children.
We shall continue to provide all the necessary support to you and to your dear husband to ensure your victory at the poll come 2019. This is to enable you continue with your laudable programs and achievement of the APC-led administration for the betterment of the nation.
The wife of the president also inaugurated a model school for orphans named after her. Initiated by the governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, the project is one of the 28 model schools constructed by him to complement President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, transforming the education sector for the betterment of Nigerians.
Beautiful, thank you.
Equipped with the necessary tools to enhance teaching and learning, the facility will cater for the children of the displaced persons, especially Fulani Bororoji, Hanagamba, as well as girl child and orphans. Mrs. Buhari also visited Government Girls College Maiduguri, upgraded by the governor to meet global standards for the benefit of the children. Mrs. Buhari was also given an award of excellence in recognition of her humanitarian activities by Governor Kashim Shettima. The wife of the president inspected her own project, the construction of orphanage comprising both primary and secondary schools for the benefit of the victims of insurgency in the Northeast. She expressed satisfaction with the level of work done at the site. In Maiduguri, Borno State capital, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
And we turn attention now to Akwa Ibom State, where the senator representing Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, Godswill Akpabio, is assuring President Muhammadu Buhari of a resounding victory in Akwa Ibom State, going by his commitment to the transformation of Nigeria. Senator Akpabio gave the assurance at a solemn assembly to flag off his senatorial election campaign and inauguration of Ikodekmene Senatorial District of the All Progressives Congress APC Campaign Council. Imo Etmudo reports.
On the heels of the celebration, Senator Godswill Akpabio said the 2019 presidential election will be a reward for hard work and service for President Muhammadu Buhari. He noted that the impact of the APC-led federal government in Akwa Ibom State and the South-South region at large is unprecedented, hence the collective resolve by the people of the region to support President Buhari's re-election in 2019.
I think the president is on track, and that is why in my state and across the entire Niger Delta and South-South, we will surprise Nigerians with the votes that will give to President Muhammadu Buhari.
The state chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Mr. Ini Okobido, later inaugurated the Ikodekmene Senatorial District APC Campaign Council with Dr. Chris Akpan as the Director General.
This senatorial district must give Mr. President all the votes. You must give all the votes to our governorship candidates.
At the solemn assembly, Bishop of Ikono Diocese of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Reverend Usain Akpanenwa, speaking on the theme, "Oh, sing a new song to the Lord, for he has worked wonders," said God will lead Senator Akpabio and the APC family to victory in 2019. There were intercessory prayers in Okana, a Synonym Lugu government area, Akwa Ibom State. Imo Etimudo, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari sends warm greetings to former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Jubril Ayinla, who turns 70 on December 10, 2018. In a statement signed by Special Assistant, Media and Publicity Femi Adesina, President Buhari congratulates Vice Admiral Aina for his outstanding military career with many decorations for gallantry and outstanding leadership and his contributions to the development of Nigeria, which includes serving as Minister of Commerce and Tourism and Minister of Health. The President joins family, friends and professional colleagues of the former Chief of Naval Staff in celebrating the many years of hard work, sacrifice, discipline that culminated in his reaching the peak of his military career. And time now for sports. New record set in swimming at 19th National Sports Festival, just as Anti-Corruption Marathon holds Monday in Abuja.